My dear Vanessa, I have come back to be mayor of New York. Make it great again. I just couldn't help myself on that one. Hey guys, welcome to the review of Daredevil Born Again. This is going to be my quick review and my thoughts of the series so far. They only dropped 2 episodes. I only watched the first one. I'll be back with the second one as soon as I can. I'm going to try to keep it non-spoiler as possible, but I'm going to be honest with you, probably these reviews are going to be spoiler talks, so I'll let you know exactly when we get to that point. But let's start off with the series. And before we get started, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. There'll be more reviews going on, more thoughts about things that I like, sports, movies, games, memes, stuff like that. So let's just get straight to the point. So Daredevil Born Again is the revamped, not rebooted, but revamped season 4 of the Daredevil series that came from Netflix. And this is now under the Disney umbrella of the MCU. So hopefully we'll see later on in it some different traits, different things that tie to the MCU on a grander scale. Right now, so far, it seems to hold the aesthetics from the original Daredevil series. So nothing too crazy, nothing too much from there. As we watch the series, we get an opening title with Foggy, Karen, and our boy Matt. And they go to the bar, and from there, this season starts off right out the gates, letting you know the tone, exactly where they're going, and exactly how much they're going to be respecting the violence and the action and the tone that was set up in the Netflix series. From there, we get to see Kingpin, Wilson Fisk. We get a look at him post the Echo series, where at the end of that, spoiler alert, he went to go try out for mayor after seeing it on the TV screen, and as you'll see later on in this show, that's basically what happens with him. He gets to become mayor, and we get to see the beginning of Mayor Kingpin, which is also from the comics, and we get to see how that turns out in the long run. And Matt at this point is retired from being Daredevil, kind of focused more on his lawyer career. We're going to see Matt, he's going to basically put back on the suit, and when he does, you know, he'll be reborn, and we'll see exactly how that turns out and exactly the direction that they're going to choose to go with that. From there, that's as unspoiler I can get about this. This whole episode was just epic. So let's just get straight to the spoiler talks. Starting off the gate, and I'll try not to make this a play-by-play, just really the stuff that I really like, but we'll keep it as simple as possible, and then we'll work on it as the series continues on. First off, let's talk about that opening scene. So Foggy and Karen, Matt, all at the bar. We're getting some setup with some characters that's obviously going to be later on in the series. And out of nowhere, we find out that Foggy has been keeping one of his clients protected in his own apartment, which I'm not sure if that was a setup or if that was legit. But we find out that Bullseye in full-fledged costume at that, which was kind of surprising to see, in full-fledged costume, is going after him, or at least we thought it was him, only to find out that he was really aiming for Matt, Foggy, and Karen, and they start the season off straight up with a death of a main character, and that is Foggy. Foggy got shot, and that was crazy. I don't think nobody saw that one coming. And then we are thinking like, oh, well, Karen's next. And obviously, nope, Karen survived again. Don't know how she keeps making it through all these things, but she survived again. And at the close quarters of a moment before Bullseye was able to take her out, Daredevil Matt, he basically comes in swinging, and we get our first full fight of the season, and it was glorious. You could tell there was a lot of, I don't know if it was just how the camera was working or if it was CGI. It did kind of weird. Didn't have that real gritty, grounded tone that the Netflix series had, but I was okay with it for the most part because of just how it looked, how fun it was to see, and just how clean the fight actually turned out to be. Just seeing him face Bullseye is just always, like, I don't know why, it's just exciting. It's good to see somebody who actually is a pure challenge to Matt and his abilities, let alone the type of superhero that he is. But yeah, Foggy gets killed. Matt loses it. Tries to kill Bullseye by throwing him off a building. He survives somehow, and a lot of people are questioning that, and they forget that he has been enhanced because of the new spine that he has in his back. That was kind of hinted at the end of the season 3. So I'm thinking that's got to do a little bit with his ability to be able to withstand and take on damage. We'll see if they ever explain that, because obviously with him not being dead from the 5-foot fall that Matt made him do, he basically just went to prison for life, and we know he's probably not going to be in there long, especially since they set him up in the beginning. So, and with Mayor Kingpin, we'll just have to wait and see exactly how that works out. Later on, we get a 1-year time skip. So I'm wondering, with this being the 1-year time skip, in between there, is that what happened with Echo and all the rest of that kind of stuff? Did No Way Home also happen in between there as well? There's a lot of questions in between that little 1-year time skip, but other than that, Matt's basically just being a lawyer. He's doing his thing. We get reintroduced to a couple of characters that we saw at the bar for the beginning of the episode. Him and Karen are not on the same page right now. Obviously dealing with grief in their own ways, but just not dealing with it with each other, which then sets up a pretty interesting dynamic that we'll have to see how that works out, because that either means that Karen is not really going to be in this series, but she's still going to exist in the universe, or she's going to be later on showing up in the series. And with their type of relationship and where they're at right now, it'd be interesting to see what direction they go, and if she's going to be a series regular, especially since I think they already got renewed for season 2. But at that point, we get a little bit of Matt's life, where he's at, still grieving Foggy's death. We see Poindexter, Bullseye, go to jail, basically get sentenced for life in prison. And then we get Wilson Fisk, the Kingpin, coming into the screen, and where we get to finally see Vanessa after a long hiatus off screen, especially with him showing up in the MCU a couple of times, and there being small references to her, but not really seeing her at all. It was nice to see the same actor come back and reprise her role and play her part as Vanessa, and seeing the new dynamic, and them even having that little speech about her kind of like using money and just kind of like keeping everything on the wraps, but then also having Kingpin kind of be like, hey, look, I'm gonna be running for this, and I gotta be kind of like squeaky clean, so we gotta figure this out. I ain't saying you gotta drop everything, but like there could be no gray areas. Like I either am completely out and we doing this as our new hustle, or we sticking with this. So it's gonna be one of the things. Either I'm gonna be mayor, or I'm gonna be Kingpin, but I ain't gonna be both. And we'll see how long that lasts, because obviously he wins, which was a shocker, I guess, to a lot of fans, including me. Like, they already went the route of making him mayor, so they didn't really even waste too much time with that. So we're gonna see him, how he implements his non-vigilante order on New York, and how that's gonna affect probably not even Matt, but just like other people around, because we're also gonna have the White Tiger in this series, and then the villain, I forget what the villain's name, but I think he's also gonna be kind of like a mass vigilante as well. So I think this series we're gonna see vigilantes be kind of like the issue that not only Matt has to face, but also Kingpin. And that's going to be an interesting dynamic, because when they sat in the diner at one of the best dialogue scenes in the episode, Matt just basically told him, hey, look, I know who you are. I'm not surprised about who you are. You can't trick me. I already know everything about you. Just if you really are changing a new leaf, don't mess up, or I will find you. And Kingpin is basically letting them know, hey, look, you stay out of my way, I stay out of yours. Just make sure that your alter ego, your little friend that you be at night, he don't show up and cause any problems. So that's going to be interesting how that goes about moving forward, and seeing how that plays out in the series. But until we get a little bit more confirmation on what's gonna be that kind of like that needle that pops the balloon that sets everything off? Is it him being mayor? Is it gonna be the new like villain of the series that's gonna bring out that rough side of Kingpin as mayor? And is Kingpin gonna be the reason why Matt puts on the suit again? It's gonna be pretty interesting to see. Outside of that, I love the first episode. Definitely set it up in the best way possible. I think the shocker of what happened in the first 5 to 10 minutes of the episode really set the tone in the series, and I can't wait to see episode 2. And when I do, I'll be dropping a review for that as well. In the meantime, I appreciate you guys who have listened, who are watching, and I hope that you guys like this review. There'll be more things to show up in the future. Until then, I am him, he is me, and I am out of here.